Oh my gosh. Well, normally I have music, but YouTube just froze. What's up, everybody? This is Gratitude Unfiltered. I guess I don't need music today. That is not cool. Anyway, good morning, everybody. This is Gratitude Unfiltered AM. I am your host, Joshua T. Berglund. I hope everyone has had a blessed weekend, and your Monday has been fantastic so far. It is 7 a.m. here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I was sitting here thinking, what time am I going to do this show when we head to California? Because I got to be honest with you, I don't really like getting up early. I see Jason Cisneros getting up at like 4 a.m. and starting his day, and I'm thinking, I don't know about all that. That is early. That is really early. Anyway, so I'm actually excited to be here this morning. I've been awake for a little bit. I'm still waking up at 3 a.m. I did have a couple days where I actually did sleep for a while, but I still woke up at 3 a.m. I'm starting to think that it means something. Like there's significance to it. So I've just been praying. Because I don't know what else to do. Here's exactly what happens. I roll over, I go, yeah, it's 3 o'clock. And I kind of laugh and I go, all right. So I start praying a little bit. Then I put on the Bible app and have the Bible app read to me. And then I fall back asleep most of the time. And it's actually, I don't mind it. It's just, I guess it makes my 10-minute nap later in the day that much better. But it is a trip. Like, I don't know what it means. And I've heard so many different things. Does this happen to anyone else? Right now, we are live on the E360 network, streaming on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. We're also streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So what's up, everybody? Play along. We're going to do an exercise here in a second, too. I did it Saturday night. And if you even if you watch Saturday night's show, you missed it because for some reason the stream cut out. This is one of the problems with relying on technology. But look, things happen, right? Nothing happens on accident. I don't think. I may want to take that statement back. But anyway, but I did this exercise Saturday night with the audience, and I was actually talking to you guys too. But you missed that. But the audience that was live seemed to like it. But anyway, so I hear that when you're waking up at 3 a.m., it means you're to intercede for somebody. And for those of you who don't know what that means, I don't even really know what it means exactly, but I do know it means that when you intercede, in this example, is that it's God wanting you to pray for somebody. And you don't know who. So you just start praying. It's kind of a trip. But what I will tell you is, while this is happening, I'm hearing God's voice more. And that's cool. Because that's a special thing. And, and again, I know people of all faiths and religion watch this show, but I follow Jesus. I'm not a Christian. I hate that word. I hate it because of what it conjures up in other people, because I don't live by religious rule. I live with freedom. I just kind of follow what I know inside. I trust that the spirit inside of me is guiding me to make, steps in faith. This is the wrong thing for you. This is, like there's discernment that builds. And like the more I learn to trust this thing inside me, the more I learn to go, yeah, I don't care what you say. This is what I feel right to do, and I'm going to do it. And it's really helped me go against the grain where it's real easy to follow the herd. And sometimes I feel quite alone. And it's not always easy, but in the end, I always know it's right. And the cool thing about following the spirit inside you is that you tend to end up being right. Or not you, but by following what was inside you, being obedient to that, you tend to end up right where you need to be. It's kind of awesome. it's kind of awesome. And that means sometimes saying no to certain people that try to come into your life. And sometimes you get to say yes. And when you get to say yes, it's awesome. And no, I'm not talking about a relationship. I'm very fortunate that I'm still riding this I'm going to be alone for a little bit trip. But I got the next best thing. I'm really excited about this and I'm really grateful for this. But I have a manager now. And it's necessary, especially going back to California. I'm really excited. I'll officially kind of announce it soon. But I mean, I guess I did announce it, but as far as who I'm working with and all that stuff, I'll do that when it's appropriate. But I'm very grateful. It's kind of funny, and I've shared this with her. Like everything that I've ever wanted in a girlfriend or a wife was what I want in a manager. And I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing, but at the same time, it's weird because and this is kind of a trip, but for what my love language is, and yes, I believe in love languages. Do you believe in love languages? Like for me, look, so when you're on the path to your destiny and you're stepping into faith and you're pursuing a bold vision, you will feel alone at times until your people start to come into your life. Other people can congratulate you and say, good job. But to be honest with you, it means a lot. But when the people that are closest to you, the people that are in your circle, the people that you're conversing with every day, like having their support, their love, and their encouragement means 50 times more because you're around them all the time. Because the flip side to that is they're typically the ones that are the most critical of you. I mean, your family and friends are the ones that typically will not believe in your dream or vision until you've convinced them otherwise. I mean, it just happens. Has that happened for you? I mean, those of you that are pursuing your vision, because not everybody is. And that's kind of why I'm on this trip right now with Gratitude Unfiltered AM, is talking about purpose, vision, destiny, because it matters. Like now is a good time. You can get into some of the if you can kind of understand with what's happening in the world, and I'm not going to go down that wormhole right now. I would love to, but we would be here for 10 hours because I could talk about it all day. And I need a big whiteboard, not this black sheet behind me, but I need a whiteboard to like start connecting dots for people so people will start to see like how all of this, like everything that's happening in the world, and not what you see on the news, even though if you look on the other side of what you're seeing on the news, then you can start connecting dots. It's really, really crazy. And then you start connecting with prophecy, and then you connect those dots, and you start to see that, but then there's another side to it. There's the side of supernatural possibilities. That's the part that people don't talk about. But part of the supernatural possibilities are stepping into your purpose. They are embracing your destiny. Bold faith, a reliance, a surrender to God, and trusting Him that He's got you. Because I promise you, God will equip you for everything you need. And the theme of Saturday night's show was, what would you do? And it's good. And if you have not watched it yet, a lot of you have, because you guys are so supportive. And there was a lot of actually organic views. It was pretty impressive. I was happy, really happy and encouraged by it. And the feedback from it was amazing because people in the audience, like the digital audience, were playing along with what was happening on the screen. Because I asked the question, what would you do if you could not fail? And if you didn't watch, go ahead and answer it now because we're going to do this exercise. What would you do for God? if you knew it was impossible to fail, here's a hint. When you're doing it for God, it is impossible to fail. But what would you do if you had no fear? Like, think about that. No fear. What would you do? You're not fearing of how I'm going to pay for it, or what will people think of me? Will I die? What would you do? No fear. No fear. With no fear, what would you do? So we asked this question, and it was crazy because I don't plan shows. I never do. I didn't plan this one either. I never do. I surrender this show. And those of you who know me know I do this, but I say, Holy Spirit, speak through me. I don't think the Holy Spirit's talking just yet, but I rely on God. I rely on the Holy Spirit to guide everything I do most of the time. Sometimes I try to take control, but I'm working on it. But the reason I do it is I don't, if I had to start preparing for this show, here's what would happen. One of the reasons I read out loud when I read the Bible app is because I'm like, one of the things, I want to create devotionals. Like, that's something I'm going to do in time. But I'm reading out loud to you because I'm practicing doing it for several reasons. Doing voiceover work is something I really want to do, and I will do. And also, reading out loud is one of the biggest weaknesses I have. I'm 40 years old, and I still have to fight stuttering, and I still have to fight the words dancing all over the page. It's like when I start reading, the words just like move. Like it's like I dropped acid right before I started reading. And I still have not mastered this. And I had the opportunity to, at my church, when the pastor is preaching, he'll have people read for him in the Bible, because faith comes from hearing the word. Hearing, not reading, hearing. It gets into your spirit, man. That's a whole other conversation. I have a lot of wormholes I could go down today. I'm not going to. I'm staying focused. But reading, or when you hear the word, it's how it helps sink in. It gets into your brain, your spirit man hears it, and that's where your faith starts to come, and it starts to build. And it's true. That's why when I wake up at 3 a.m., I start praying, and then I turn the Bible app on, and I let it read me back to sleep. Because even while I'm asleep, my spirit man can hear it. So can your subconscious, by the way. It can hear it too. Did you ever in high school or junior high, like, lay on a book? You're like, man, I'm tired of studying. So you just put your head down, and you're trying to learn by osmosis. I hated studying so bad. I don't even think I tried to study. I just put my head on the book and hoped it sunk in. No wonder I ended up cheating my way through elementary school and junior high and high school. I partied in college. I didn't even try. God, you know what's crazy though? It's like, I love to learn so much now. I love it. I can sit and watch YouTube and like pull up. I'm going to the bookstore today and I'm buying a bunch of Dr. Miles Monroe stuff. I'm so excited. I found a workbook from Dr. Miles Monroe who teaches kingdom principles. And now I'm going to start really getting into this and teaching that on this show. But I'm obsessed with learning. And the more I get to know God, yes, and his son, and through the relationship, like, the more I go, oh, this is real. Because there's times, I'm not going to lie, there's times I see things happening, and I'm going, yeah, that ain't real. Yeah, they're full of crap. That happens. Like, I love Jesus with all my heart. I do. I love him. And that's why I say I'm a follower of Christ. Like, I follow his teachings. I believe he died on the cross to save me, to save you. I do. I believe it with all my heart because of what's happened to me, how my heart's changed, how my desires have changed. That alone is a miracle, because I'm a freak, was a freak in a lot of different areas. And I don't have the heart for that anymore. Not all of it, because sometimes I still get like things that come up and I have to go, no, that's not right for me. That's a bad thing. No, I'm gonna go this way instead. I mean, I still have to do that. Don't get me wrong, but like my heart desires are different. Like this stupid thing up here lies to you, lies, 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 lies. And like when it lies to you, you have to correct it with what you believe in your heart. So here's the exercise. You ready? Forgive me, I didn't practice this morning. By the way, I'm drinking mud. Have you ever had mud before? Mud is it's just a bunch of mushrooms and turmeric. I hope I said that right. And sea salt. And there's really low caffeine in it, but it's mud and it looks like mud. It's actually pretty good. Cinnamon is in it also. I hope it doesn't make me need to use the bathroom. Okay, so as I shared last week, I talked about how science has now discovered that there's a brain in your heart. Your heart has a memory. So we talk about retraining our brain. The Bible talks about it. It's super important. But it also talks about guarding your heart with guard your heart, like with everything possible, guard your heart. The reason why is because I think this brain, you have a brain in your stomach too. That's another conversation. I don't see where it talks about that in the Bible, but you truly have a brain in your stomach. Hence why some of the new vitamins that are coming out that target the stomach, like even your stimulants, like your energy stuff, is like targeting your gut now. It's pretty crazy. Oh, by the way, I like to design products, so I get to know all this stuff. Yeah, that's a side subject. I need to talk about our sponsors, but I'm going to wait. Let's do this exercise first. So your heart has a brain and has a memory. So like everything that you do is about really getting the things that you value and you love and you dream about into your heart. So what I've noticed from this experiment that I've been doing is that, so here, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do first. So you're going to take a super deep breath in. If you're driving, pull over. I want you to do this. I promise. It's worth pulling over. Trust me on this. Just do it. Pull over now. I'll give you a couple seconds while I ramble. If you're at the gym and you're doing on the treadmill and the Stairmaster, because I know some of you are, good for you, by the way. Proud of you. You can do this along. No one's going to tease you. It's just going to look like you're out of breath and that you've worked out harder than you are. And if you're at home, if you're on the toilet, you can do this too. Okay. So I want you to think about, you got this whole big atmosphere here, right? I want you to breathe in slowly. And when you breathe in slowly for 5 seconds, just like slow, I want you to focus on breathing into your heart. And you hold it. And as you start to exhale, I want you to say out loud what you're grateful for. Because there's power in words. If you think it, it's not the same thing. This also goes back to speaking the word. It's the same thing. Very similar purpose. But then as you're breathing out, say what you're grateful for. Breathe back in when you're out of breath for 5 seconds. Hold it. Do another round of that. Let's do it 3 times. Hold on. My nose would get stopped up as I wanted to do this. Where my camera went dark. Okay, you ready? Okay, let's go. Remember, say it out loud. How do you feel? You can't make fun of me if you didn't do it because you don't know. On Saturday, we did it 5 times. But for the sake of time, and also because I really want you to do it, I hope you did it. If you did it, please comment and say, hey, I did that, and tell me how you feel. What it's doing, so a lot of times when we say I'm grateful, here's the reason and the purpose behind the exercise, is because a lot of times we say what we're grateful for. We can write it down, we can say it out loud. I'm grateful for my bed, I'm grateful for my mom, I'm grateful for, I'm grateful for my house, right? I'm grateful for the opportunities. That's what, okay, tomorrow we're going to do this one. Future gratitude. That one's fun. That one makes me cry every time, like a baby. But a gratitude hack is when you say you're grateful for something, you can say, why am I grateful? And then you answer, why am I grateful? And you answer. And it helps you kind of get in your body about it. It does help you start to feel the gratitude. But I found a way to kind of cheat even that and go just right to your heart. And that is the way. And it is powerful. It's powerful. And it's really been good for me. I've started practicing it early last week, and it's been amazing. So I hope you tried it. So when we do it again, I'm going to start doing this regularly because I believe in it, and I want you guys to have a spirit of gratitude. And dadgummit, this is Gratitude Unfiltered AM, by the way. And I have another show called Gratitude Unfiltered. So just because the show's a little unfiltered, doesn't mean it's not about gratitude, because it is. It is about finding gratitude in life's most traumatic moments. It's about finding gratitude in everything. Because life happens for you, not to you. Period. Anyway, really quick. Speaking of gratitude, I am Conchita Cosmetics. Just so grateful for this product. This new year coming up, I'm so geeked out. What a trip. But if you go to iamconchita.com and you sign up for the newsletter, you will receive a discount code for the Lash App and Curl, and really any of our lashes too. We have an eyeliner glue that's black. It's not in this video, but it is actually pretty incredible. It allows you to shape the eye any way you want. The lashes, you can trim them. You can reuse them 30 times or more. You can even apply lashes with glasses on. It's kind of incredible. So go to iamconchita.com and sign up for the newsletter. You will get a discount code in your email. Okay, so here's the devotional. I'm going to make sure I didn't forget something. The devotional today is actually really good. I like this, and this is another one by Michael Youssef, and this is more about vision. This is called Meeting Needs. This is fantastic, and it really kind of, all of these, of course, go in sequence. So if you're like missing a step, like this feels like it's jumping ahead to you if you're new to the show, because there's new people watching every day. By the way, thank you, God bless. And yes, the show is a little all over the place all the time, but there is a point and purpose to all of it. Because believe it or not, somehow, as dyslexic as it may feel to you, somehow we tie it all back together at the end. And then it goes, oh, that makes sense. It does. I promise. Hang on. You'll see. Okay. Man, a frog took a dump in my throat this morning. Jeez. Having and following a vision isn't just for big dreamers and world changers. See? Everyone has a vision. Everyone. And don't be intimidated, which you see on social media and what you hear out of people's mouths, because half the time people are just talking about their big vision. Very few are putting it to action. Don't let that crap intimidate you or bother you. Look, if your dream in life is to be the best mother you can be or the best father, and you want to be a father that's home at 5 o'clock having dinner with your family, God bless you. God bless you, because we need more of that. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Like, I honestly want to be on the road for 2 years, living out of hotels, doing live shows, helping people, serving all over the world. That's what I want to do. Obviously, doing this show, too, it's a point of it. But I'm not somebody that's going to be at home at 5. You know, like, I'm so excited that my daughter's back in my life, but she's 19. And dadgummit, she'll come with me when she wants to. Like, you know, because she has gifts, that her gifts and talents and what God has blessed her with, like, she's perfect to go hit the road with me. I mean, she's incredible. Very talented girl. Anyway, so the point is, not everybody is meant to be a world changer. Because going out to change the world, you still have your nucleus, right, at home that you got to take care of. Not everyone, like, for instance, I'm not meant to be somebody that has a lot of close friends. I'm a loner. I spend most of my time alone. I'm very weird in public, where I'm like, kind of like, the reason why I used to party and drink so much is because of socially, like, I just felt awkward. Like, I didn't want to be there. Like, I didn't want to be at the club. I didn't want to be at, you know, I do enjoy fundraisers. I really do. I like getting dressed up. But, like, I'm like, I'm there for a little bit, and then I want to retreat. I want to leave. You know, I love to be on stage. I love to speak on stage. I love to do all that. But when it comes to the being close in proximity with people and interacting and being there for a long period of time, like, it kicks my butt. It's not a mental thing. It's just something I don't particularly enjoy, to kind of retreat and go back into hiding. It's just the way I am. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, yes, I want to go out and I'm going to go out and do my part in changing the world. But believe it or not, as extroverted as I may be, in this respect, I'm very much an introvert when it comes to socially. It's a strange phenomenon, but that's the way it is, and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with somebody whose whole goal in life is to provide for their family, have a bunch of kids, and do the family life. That's an amazing thing for you. So don't let other people's visions and other people's dreams intimidate you into believing that you have to be something different than you were meant to be. Because I swear to all that's holy, you will not be happy. You will not have joy. If you are not living your purpose, you are not living in line with your destiny, you're never going to be truly happy. Like, I swear to you, half of depression, boy, I'm not getting off subject. Half of depression and half of this mental illness we have in this world, or this ADD, is because we're doing stuff that we don't want to do. We're miserable because we're forcing ourselves to be in relationships. We're settling with things that we don't want to be in. We're doing jobs that we hate. Like, we're miserable, and there is a contradiction to that I'm going to get to. But, like, sometimes we're depressed because we're making bad choices. Sometimes we're depressed because we're not being obedient till we know what is right. Sometimes we're freaking depressed because we're conforming to what other people want us to be, and that ain't us. There's no joy there. There's no amount of money or amount of drugs you can do that, and I'm talking all the drugs. I'm not talking about just the cocaine and the meth and the ecstasy. Of course, it's really hard to be sad on ecstasy. That's another story. 2 days later, it's miserable. But psychiatric drugs, even, like, there's no amount of drugs you can take that are going to make you happy when you're doing what you know you're not supposed to do. Like, as parents, or when we were kids, we're forced into these schools that they're not catered to our gifts. They don't teach us anything. It's like, memorize. Learn to memorize. And you've got some kid that is like banging on a piano and like performing. Instead of going, shut up, kid, you're being too loud, we're not encouraging, oh my gosh, that kid is Jerry Lee Lewis. Or he's drumming and banging on things. And he's like drumming with his feet. And like, dude, that's Tommy Lee. Like, society suppresses our gifts a lot, and I know it's starting to shift, and it's amazing. The reason why I love the book Code of the Extraordinary Mind so much by Vishen Lenikani, I think his name is, from mindvalley.com. Look him up. Amazing. And if you can comment, if you don't know, you didn't understand what I said. I've read the book 15 times. It made me realize I'm not crazy. The visions in your head are real. They're there for a reason. Not all of you belong in college. Not all of you belong. Like, so if you're forcing your kids to go to college, maybe that's not the best thing for them. Anyway, I digress. Like, but a lot of the misery we have is that we feel the pressure to be something we're not, instead of owning and standing up for what we know is right and what we know is true to ourselves. Like, it honestly starts there with being true to yourself. Screw what everyone else thinks. Like, even if it means walking away from your church, and I'm not projecting anything here because I love my church, so if those of you that are starting to assume stuff, no, shut up. Like, some of you are part of a religion or a church, and you're doing it to appease your family. That in itself that's hell. I don't care what religion you're from. I don't care if you're a Christian and you're like, this church is just not doing it for me. There's something off here. I don't like, in my spirit, it didn't feel right. But you're staying there because of your family. Let me tell you something. If your family is truly walking with Christ, if your family is truly a believer, and you can truly and honestly say that I'm not being fed here spiritually, I need to find a different church. And if they don't support that, damn them. I think that's okay to say. Because as believers, now I'm talking to the believers, we are to find a place that we're being spiritually fed, a place that we can serve, and we can sow into, a place that we believe in sowing to, a place that shares a vision. Yes, you need to be a part of a ministry that shares your vision. Your visions align. Same way with the relationships. You're talking to, like, I want a 5'10" blonde. She looks like this, looks like that, and she does this, and she does that. Okay, it's really, really easy to get caught on the physical side of things, but honestly, one of the things that we should look at outside of a heart check, one of the things that we should seriously consider looking at as a priority is a true, legitimate, shared vision. The visions align. You're going to the same place. Like, it's real easy to look at someone and go, man, she is so stinking gorgeous. Golly, she's so hot. And she makes me laugh. And she's so fun. And she's so hilarious. And she speaks 13 languages. And she's rich. And she's, I mean, it's so easy to get caught up on that stuff. Because men, that's what we do. And whatever you're attracted to. Like, at this point, I think there's people attracted to mattresses. So, anyway, like, but if if you're like planning your future with somebody and you're thinking your future tripping and you're kind of like thinking like 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now, think about vision. What do you want with your life? What are you passionate about? These are questions to ask. And then you once you discover that and there's alignment there, then it's something that like, okay, hey, we can explore this. And then you can look at the physical side and go, yeah, all right, perfect. I got to blow my nose so bad. Anyway, so back to even with the church, it's the same way. Like you can share a vision with the church because the money that you're tithing to, and tithing, by the way, is not just giving your money. Tithing, the purpose of tithing is not about money. Tithing is about management. Tithing has nothing to do with giving God your money or giving the church your money. It has nothing to do with that. It's God teaching you how to manage. And again, it's not just money. It's you go to the grocery store, buy 10 apples, give an apple away. How many hours in a day? 24? You give God 10% of your time. That's meditation, that's reading, reading the Bible, listening to sermons, whatever it may be. But giving God 10% of your time too. It's about management. You got time to watch TV, you can watch 8 hours of football in a day, or you can watch the Kardashians. God, I almost got lost in a Kardashian trap yesterday. I haven't seen it. It popped up on the TV and I was like, I had to force myself to relax yesterday. I hate relaxing. I'm not good at it, but I forced myself to. And so I was watching football, not 8 hours of it, but I was watching football and I was flipping channels, looking for something like different on TV. And I saw the Kardashians and I clicked on it and I was like, oh, and I was watching and I thought, and I was obsessed with the amount of work that's been done on their faces and the amount of makeup and like how literally it is. When I say perfect, I'm not saying like I'm digging it. I'm just saying like there's nothing out of place. But then again, if you have the money to pay somebody $25,000 every time you do makeup, I'm exaggerating. If you didn't know. But it's like, it's not real. It's like so perfect. And I work in cosmetics and skincare. Like I love to work with those brands and I'm fascinated with it. Like I love the artistry of makeup. Call me weird. I also have a sponsor. I am Conchita Cosmetics. It's an eyelash applicator. I'm not just touting this because I don't like it's just a thing to me. No, I genuinely love the way lashes make. I mean, honestly, they make everyone's face look good. I put the lashes on. I was like, man, I'm pretty. And I wouldn't say that without the lashes on. So, you know, like I appreciate it. I also love fashion. I really do. I love fashion. I'm fascinated with it. I grew up, I modeled when I was a kid. This is before I got all fugly. And my mom modeled. I think my mom still models. Like, I just grew up around the world. Like, around that world, and I get it, and I understand it. I love the ballet, too. I don't want to go to the ballet every day, but I enjoy the ballet. Boy, I got off topic. But, so the Kardashians, hold on, let me back it up a little bit. I almost got caught in a Kardashian wormhole is the point, because I was so like mesmerized by what was going on, not listening to what they were saying, because it's god awful, pointless. There's a waste of breath, a waste of oxygen. Oh my gosh, I'm over in time. Anyway, who cares? Aaron, I hope you don't care. But then I went back to football. But 10% of your time. So tithing is about it's about management and showing God that you can be responsible. That's why you should also save 10% of everything you get. Now, saving food is a little bit, you don't want the apple to go bad. But with your income, It's good. Like you tithe 10%, you save 10%. And of course you got to take out for taxes, which sucks. But hey, it's good to save. It's a kingdom principle. Okay, let me start over here. Having and following a vision isn't just for big dreamers and world changers. As believers, we all have been called by God to pursue his plan and purpose for our lives. Having a vision will guide both your destination and your direction in fulfilling God's purposes. His vision will guide both your destination and your direction. So having a vision will guide both your destination and your direction in fulfilling God's purposes. See, I told you about reading out loud. This is me practicing. Writing out that vision matters. Sometimes sharing your vision out loud, like the enemy can try to throw some wrenches in your plan, so you do want to guard your vision. You do. It's important, but it's good to write it down. By doing that, you'll start to get more downloads. God will communicate with you more. Visions can be big or small. They could be global or local. But a vision doesn't need to be complicated. At the very heart of having a life vision is seeing a need and meeting that need. At the very heart of having a vision, having a life vision, is seeing a need and meeting that need. So those of you who do not know what your vision is or what your purpose is, well, there's a hint. Find a need. Look for a need. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is find a place to serve. The holidays are here. I'm sure by now, like the Jesus houses and places like that, but like put it out on social media. Who needs volunteers? Where can I serve? Because you don't need any more gifts, especially if you live in America. If you live in the United States, every day is Christmas for you. Most of you. Find a place to serve. And here, okay, how about this? If you're watching right now and you could use some volunteers, comment. Like say, hey, I'm preparing food and we're just going to go out into downtown San Diego, downtown LA, downtown New York, downtown Miami, downtown London, Oklahoma City, Tulsa. And we're going to prepare some food and we're just going to take food out to random people. If you're doing something like that, comment. Let's start connecting. Let's start putting things together here where people can step up and help, because it's through service that your gift will manifest itself. You'll start to see, like, wait a second, this is what I should be doing. I like this. Like the vision for your life will manifest through service. Just telling you. I promise you. It happens. I don't know how it happens, but then again, I don't know how a lot of stuff happens that God does, but it just does. God has placed us in our jobs, our neighborhoods, and our families for a purpose, to meet the needs around us. Life is not about you. Life is not about me. It's about who we're serving. It's about other people. Our gifts are not about us. Our pain is not even about us. Truly visionary people are those who have the ability to recognize the need around them, as well as the determination and willingness to meet those needs. God has placed us in our jobs, our neighborhoods, and our families for a purpose, to meet the needs around us. Truly visionary people are those who have the ability to recognize the needs around them, as well as the determination and willingness to meet those needs. True. How often do we see a need yet do nothing about it? We may feel pity or concern, yet we stand back and do nothing. We are unwilling to risk our comfort, our reputation, and our security. But we cannot be that visionary person for God unless we are willing to risk everything for Him. Part of risking everything is being in a total place of surrender. I promise you, you are more powerful, more extraordinary, more unique, more lovable, more amazing in a place of surrender than you are when you are trying to control everything in your life. And when you're worried about other people and you're worried well, everyone else is doing this. But when you're being called and you feel it in your heart, in your spirit, that you're being led to go a different direction, surrender to that and just go all out. You won't do it. The practice of surrender is daily, and there's levels of surrender that happen. You'll reveal through surrender more areas that you get to surrender, and that's okay. You're not supposed to nail it. It's not like you're going to be for believers. You're not going to be the goal is to be Christ-like, but you're not going to be Jesus. But the more you pursue and get to know him, the more you become like him. Like you put these mentors, people have these idols. I saw something on Tony Robbins this weekend. It was an old video of him. People worship that guy. They buy all of his books and his manuals and and they study it and read it. And no offense to Ed Milet, but people worship Ed Milet. People worship my friend Jason Cisneros. And they're all amazing men that I mean, as far as I know Jason's an amazing guy. Ed's an amazing dude. I don't know Tony Robbins. Even pastors. We idolize pastors. We put people on a pedestal and we buy all their books and read all their stuff and they're so amazing. Yeah. Every single one of them are flawed. But you spend your time and your energy and your mind power, all of it, reading everything they do, watching everything they do, and you are morphing into them. You talk like them. You use their slang. I can be around somebody from New York for 5 minutes and I start talking like I'm from New York. I can go anywhere that I've ever traveled. I'll pick up the dialect. I can't help it. If I start hanging out with somebody and they have weird mannerisms or they have stupid little sayings for something, well, guess what? I start saying those stupid little sayings. That's how we are as humans. Some of us are worse about it than others, but the fact is this: whoever we pursue, whoever we spend our time with, whoever it is that we're studying and giving our time to, is who we're going to most likely be a reflection of. Why are we settling for man that are flawed, that are not perfect? Why do we settle for that? When the path to the highest version of ourself, our extraordinary self, the path to our limitless, the path to being like Christ is only in following him. Because he was a miracle worker. He was without sin. He was a man that loved people enough to die for them. I'm sorry, but take the religion, spirituality side of it out for a second. Just take that out. None of the people that we follow on social media are willing to die for you. There's not a single person on social media that you follow I won't die for you. Are you crazy? I don't even know. I'm not going to throw myself in front of a bus for you. I'm sure as heck not going to be put on a cross for you and tortured. None of the people that you follow are willing to die for you. None of them. But one did. But how much do we pay attention to him? and what he said and what he taught. Because you can just say, all right, this is just to be real here. You can say, okay, that man didn't die on the cross. That's a made up story. Okay, he didn't come back to life. You can say that's a made up story. Okay, say that if you want. Say that. Even though there's history and there's proof that that happened. But anyway, say that didn't happen. Every one of the principles that are being taught to you by these gurus are all altered versions of what Jesus taught you. They were all everything he came and taught, preached, whatever you want to call it. All those motivational quotes that you see posted, without some of the expletives, of course, are extensions of Jesus's teachings. Isn't it best to go to OG, the original gangster, Jesus? Just my opinion. But it seems to make, like, on a logical sense, it makes sense. Like, or a lot, and like logically, it makes sense to go just to the source, the guy that it came out of his mouth first. Okay, my tangent's over. How often do we see a need and do nothing about it? We may feel pity or concern, yet we stand back and do nothing. We are unwilling to risk our comfort, our reputation, and our security. But we cannot be that visionary person for God unless we are willing to risk everything for him. God wants you to make a difference in the lives of other people. He's given you your blessings, gifts, talents, and resources and connections for a reason. Something to think about. Like I said, your gifts that you were born with were not about you. They're not for you. They're for other people. Father, help me to be able to recognize the needs that are all around me and have the willingness and the courage to meet those needs. I pray that in the name of Jesus. Amen. Okay, you guys, I hope that this has resonated with you. I know I went off on a few little branches of just sometimes it happens. But I hope it made sense, and I hope that it resonated with you in the sense of going, because a lot of people get intimidated by not having a big vision. They get intimidated because the people that they see around them are talking about being world changers, and yeah, I'm going to be a world changer. Like, I am a world changer. I am the world's mayor too. But you see, there's a sacrifice with that. I don't get to have. You can't have. Let me be careful how I word this. So there's another side of me that desires a family. Honestly, like the idea of a family sounds so beautiful to me. But the reality to that is that to have a family, it would look a lot different than what my brain will romanticize a family to look like. I'm not going to be home at 5 o'clock. I may be gone for months at a time. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Like, there's moments where there's downtime that it gets really lonely. And I was sharing with my manager last night or yesterday afternoon. It was like, this downtime is tough for me. You know, I'm bored because, like, you know, when I get to San Diego, I can just like walk out of my building and go, you know, just talk to random people and be fine and like kind of fix that. But she said something that challenged me that was pretty interesting. She's like, maybe God wants you to be alone right now so he can talk to you. It's like, okay. Oh yeah, okay. And guess what? He was right. She was right. So use that time to spend with God. But look, the fact is that there's going to be a lot of lonely times. There's going to be a lot of times that, I'll see, like even now, like I'll see a bunch of people, groups of people out, and there's like 15 of them. They're all having a good time, taking pictures. They've been friends for 25 years. Like that all sounds really nice, like on the surface, but in the end, I know it's not what I want. It just seems cute at the time. It seems like, oh, that's special, but there's a sacrifice for when we step into who we are. There's things that we have to let go of that, it may seem nice and may seem awesome, but it's not for us. And the flip side of that is those of you who your purpose in life is not to go out and be a living on the road for a year straight, 2 years straight, trying to save the world. That may not be in you, but you look at it on TV and you get inspired by it and you're like, God, I want that. But really, being a mom and raising up world changers is what your calling is. And don't get it twisted. Being that mom that's probably more important than being the actual world changer. Okay, I'm crying because I think about the sacrifices my mom has made for me. And even my stepdad. That means a lot to me. Because honestly, without the sacrifice that she made, I would not be able to pursue what I'm called to do. So don't think for a second because you feel like your purpose in life is just like, I'm just going to be a mom or just be a dad. Sometimes there's no greater responsibility. Like sometimes that's just like your thing, and it's so important because that time and that extra time that you're able to give and that sacrifice, that maybe you don't have the big fancy exciting job, but like you're good at it and you love it, and and it like that, maybe that's just what you're supposed to be, and it makes you happy. Yeah, it's okay to look at other things and go, man, that's exciting. That seems fun. Like, wow, what an exciting life. There's always a flip side to everything. Like even living purposefully and living out your destiny, there's always going to be other things that you can look at and go, wow, that's amazing. That looks so much fun. But it's also good just to stay true to who you are, whatever that is. Because again, if it's just being a mom, you don't know who you're raising up. And it's pretty special, I would think. My mom is an extraordinary human being. And I would not be able to do any of what I'm doing and will do if it wasn't for the sacrifices she made for me. I would never really have known Jesus either without her. So, yeah, it doesn't matter what your purpose is, big or small. God designed you the way you are for a reason, and there's a huge purpose in all of it. So, anyway, if you guys need prayer or want to reach out, I'm starting to book speaking gigs again, and even emceeing. So if you guys you need a speaker and MC, you can contact me at joshuatbargelin.com, or just go to my website, or my email is joshua@joshuatberglund.com. And also follow me on social media at Gratitude Unfiltered on Facebook and Instagram. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you so much.